Toyota has brought some really interesting vehicles here today to show them off. One of them is the Mirai Sedan. The other one is a Class A commercial truck. And both of these vehicles are hydrogen fuel cell vehicles. So zero emissions, and they're actually more environmentally friendly even than a battery electric vehicle. I'm gonna go over here a little closer and see if I can get some footage of these here in a few minutes. But man, these things are really cool, and the color on that Mirai Sedan is stunning. It's actually a very beautiful vehicle, actually. I really like the look of it overall. And there's some really cool advantages to these hydrogen fuel cells.
Systems for cruise control and such that needs more of an actual interface.
Yeah, this color's awesome.
Stupid. Getting educated though.
So you can see that it still has a lot of the same controls that you would normally see in a sedan. The interior is actually very nice on this car. Sorry, excuse me.
Because I had a Tesla come by me when I was walking the other day. It startles you when you're walking.
Yeah, let's start it up.
I didn't know a car was coming up there behind me.
So once you get things going, it's pretty easy. This one's going. 80,000 pounds, no problem. 80, since this is a zero emission truck, we get 2,000 pounds. It's on?
Yeah, it's on. That's pretty cool. So what's the range on a truck like this?
I think it's
400 miles?
Hey, Chris. I got a cheat sheet here.
300 miles.
Kenya, how are you? Loaded. Good to see you.
Loaded.
82,000 pounds.
Wow.
John Lyons, good to see you.
That's awesome. So this is some really cool technology. He said they can refill this truck in 15 minutes. Typical range, loaded, 80,000 pounds, is about 300 miles. So that is really cool. Now these particular ones, he said, were developed for the port over on the West Coast, I assume. So, you know, they have some limits to how far that they can actually operate them per day. But I mean, this is so cool that they have this technology now where you can really have a better equivalent to a normal truck. Very, very quiet. You can barely hear it in operation. And you can see the fuel cells back here. He said, I believe this is the 3rd generation, and they're still already working on the 4th and 5th generation. And the gentleman that I spoke with over there said that his job is to break this truck. Basically, he's a test driver, and his job is to take it out, put it through its paces, haul heavy loads, and see if he can actually find the failure points on this truck, which is probably the coolest job I can imagine. Everybody's really checking out this Mirai Sedan too. Like I said, the color on that car is beautiful. The car itself is beautiful.
I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. Just fantastic to see some new technology coming down the pike.
I also
Appears to have maybe ventilated seats.
jump on. We'll work on it.
Yeah.
We'll work on it.
I was like, I really need you.
So just very, very cool for Toyota to bring these vehicles out and show them off today, the new hydrogen fuel cell technology that they're working on. And hey, who knows, this could be the way of the future. I've heard that let's just say there's rumors floating around that they may be able to save the V8 engine by using this hydrogen technology. So I'm all for it if they can do that. But yeah, very cool. I love this car. It's a beautiful car. Awesome range. Can refill it quickly. The infrastructure's not there yet, but you have to start somewhere, right? And they very well could be the way to go for these commercial trucks. And they were talking about the reasons for that. But yeah, I just wanted to get a little footage. We'll discuss this a little bit more here in just a few minutes. So here is an informational sheet that they were handing out. And there's some interesting information on here. The sedan, talk about it a little bit here first, says it has a 400-mile range, and the refills take only 5 minutes. So there's absolutely no difference there between this and an internal combustion engine that we're used to. Lots of range and quick refill, which is really awesome. This is a neat little stat. It says the Mirai produces less than a cup of distilled deionized water per mile. Driving the Mirai cleans roughly the same amount of air that 2 people breathe in a year. So again, this is just really interesting technology, and because it's using elements that occur naturally in the air that we breathe every day, it's extremely environmentally friendly, and is so far, based upon all the other technologies that we've seen, this one is the most environmentally friendly. Not that I'm a tree hugger, because I'm definitely not, but there's something to be said for using renewable energy sources and somewhat caring about this planet that we have to live on. So this is really cool. And then if you flip it over, there's some info here on that Kenworth heavy-duty fuel cell truck that Kenworth and Toyota have been working on together. Interesting stuff here. Gross combined weight capacity of 80,000 pounds, comparable to traditional trucks, 300-mile range, ability to start with a load on a 20% grade. So these trucks are built to work. They're not sacrificing any ability to get work done. And the guy told me, like I said, that he can refill this truck in about 15 minutes. So that's super cool. And again, this technology is just going to be awesome. Yeah, so like I was saying, I mean, it's really neat to see that stuff. Now, over on the West Coast in the port area of California is where they use those Class 8 trucks now. But I think that what we're going to see going forward here, over these next 5 or 10 years, you're really going to see this type of innovation ramp up. We're already seeing the battery electric vehicles coming out. We've been seeing some of those for several years now. All of the big automakers are bringing full-size pickup trucks that are battery electric vehicles to market soon. But this technology that Toyota is working on, I think, has a lot of promise, because the one big drawback to the battery packs and the battery electric vehicles and even the plug-in hybrid vehicles, the one big drawback, guys, is the time it takes to charge. I mean, nobody wants to sit around for hours waiting on a refill so that they can drive the vehicle again at full range. And the hydrogen fuel cell vehicles don't have that problem. So that's really cool. And I also like the fact that the only byproduct from that process, that electrolysis process that the vehicle uses to separate the hydrogen that it needs, the only byproduct is water and a little bit of heat. But just basically water is all that's left over from that process. So again, it's very clean, very cool technology. And I had been hearing some rumors and tidbits out there that Toyota could be working on a V8 engine that uses this hydrogen technology. So, you know, if this is what it takes to keep the V8 engines alive and keep some of those around going forward, I'm all for it. So anyway, I just thought I would show you this. This is really cool stuff. And I think that the wheels are really turning with these automakers. They know that the way that things have been done for the last 100 plus years with gasoline and diesel fuel, that's sort of coming to an end. You know, a lot of it has to do with political reasons. A lot of it has to do with environmental reasons, but it's coming to an end whether we like it or not. So these technologies that are coming forward are pretty neat. And, you know, electricity, it might end up being the way of the future, but how do you make that electricity for the vehicle? That's going to be the question. So really cool stuff by Toyota. Hopefully you guys thought it was kind of cool too. The infrastructure for these hydrogen fuel cell vehicles is not really there yet. And the representatives told us that, you know, here in Kentucky, they said you wouldn't want to buy one of these vehicles right now because they're being honest, the infrastructure is just not there right now, but it could be expanding in the future. You know, and if they iron out some of these details, we might see this start to spread. You know, it could be a better way to go than the traditional battery electric vehicles that we've been seeing. So anyway, neat stuff. Thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you later.